Let's find the slope of this line. This here is the slope-intercept formula. The slope is m, and the y-intercept is the b-value. So we see that the slope is 3. It's right in front of the x, the coefficient. Whereas the y-intercept is this constant here. It's -2. Now when we say the y-intercept is -2, it also implies that the opposite of y, which is x, is 0. So this is also considered the y-intercept. These are called xy coordinates. So the y-intercept of -2 is equivalent to 0, -2. Now what is the x-intercept? The x-intercept means that we set y, the opposite of x, equals 0. So look at the equation here. We have 0 equals 3x minus 2. We use algebra to isolate for x. 3x equals 2. And we divide both sides by the coefficient of x, 3. We get x equals 2/3. So now let's graph this to see what's happening. When we get the equation y equals 3x minus 2, draw an xy axis. Begin with a y-intercept of -2. We go down 1, down 2 units, and draw a dot here. The y-intercept is -2. And focus on the slope 3. When we say the slope is 3, that's equivalent to 3/1. And we learned that the slope is rise over run. The word rise means we either go up or down. +3 means we go up 3 units. So from this initial y-intercept, we go up 1, 2, 3 units. So we end off at the y value of 1. Now the run is the denominator. +1 means we go 1 to the right. A -1 value means we go 1 left. But in this case, we go 1 unit to the right. So we're now at this location. We're at this point 1, 1. And we connect the lines. These 2 dots, use a ruler, connect the line, and you have the line y equals 3x minus 2. So the x-intercept we solved here is this point over here. The x value is 2/3. We can even write the y value 0. This here is called the x-intercept. Whereas this intersection with the y-axis is called the y-intercept. Let's create a table of values for this line, y equals 3x minus 2. It doesn't really matter what values we choose for x. Let's just choose 0, 1, 2, and 3. When x equals 0, we substitute into here. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 minus 2 is -2. Now let's plug in 1 into x. 3 times 1 is 3, minus 2 is 1. Now let's plug in 2 into x. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. Notice how these y values are increasing by the slope, 3. So we're adding 3 each time. 4 plus 3 is 7. We have a table of values, which also corresponds to coordinates on the line. We have 0, -2. These are x, y coordinates. We have 1, 1, 2, 4, and 3, 7. When x equals 100, let's find y. So we substitute 100 into x here. We say y equals 3 times x, which is 100, minus 2. 3 times 100 is 300, minus 2 is 298. Now y is 10. We substitute y into here. So we say 10 equals 3x minus 2. And this is just basic algebra. We add 2 to both sides. This negative 2 becomes a positive 2. 10 plus 2 is 12 equals 3x. Dividing both sides by 3, x equals 4.